What's up, guys? It's your favorite Q coach. Welcome to another video. We have a very so-so interpreter with us, as well as we have the one and only eb.boy. Thank you, eb.boy. Thank you so much for joining. Why don't you introduce yourself?
よろしくお願いします。インスタグラムで eb.boy として活動しています。ゴルフは、ほとんどエンジョイなんですけど、これから競技とかも参加していけたらなと思いながら、しっかり練習を今頑張っているところです。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
One of the merits of learning a popular theory is that when you're learning a popular theory, a lot of it is based off of movements, like the kinematics. However, a lot of it is not, like, I'm not saying those kinematics are bad. It's just you're not getting it taught in a way to where it's starting from a base of ball flight laws, right? So we're not starting from the basic fundamentals and then trying to fix kinematics or the body motion. They're literally just fixing the kinematics because it needs to look that way because that's what people tell you. You know what I mean? That's my big issue with the popular theories of golf instructors.
確かにそうですね。
Exactly, pretty much. So like kind of the main thing is like, for example, they're teaching, hey, get your elbow internally rotated because it's going to make you do this on the downswing and it's going to make you swing faster. So my whole point is like, well, I'm already hitting the golf ball all over the lot. Why would I want to swing faster? Right? Like that
OK、よくわかりました。
It's mainly important. I don't think George teaches that way either. I think George starts from the ball flight laws and then works his way into the mechanics. I just think that it's kind of like the game of telephone. By the time the end result gets it here in Japan, it's so distorted that it's not even anywhere near the truth. Yeah.
はいはいはいはい。本来の順序をすっ飛ばして結果だけ教える人ばっかしになってしまってるから、大事なところが伝わらずに名前だけが広がってしまったみたいな。
Even myself, I know I teaches, I speak English, I'm a golf instructor, and I teach what he's taught before. But even what I'm saying is probably not exactly how he would say it or even want to say it, right? So I mean, it's just no matter who you get it from, it's gonna be different from what the person wants. So you just got, yeah. Personally, what I'd recommend him to do is you got to learn how to test, right? So a lot of the issues I think with amateur golfers is it's not only just the instructor's fault, it's also their fault too as well. It's kind of like a mixed bag. If you guys can learn how to test effectively and see if an idea is actually working, then I think it's going to give you grounds to maybe I should do that. So we could maybe talk a little bit about testing if he wants, and I could show him a couple tricks we do with our clients that maybe help them test stuff out.
それは教える方だけではなく、受け取る方も自分でテストして自分に合う合わないっていう判断ができてたら、自分に合わないのにみんな学んでやっちゃってることになってないですよね。最初からそういう区別がついてたら。なので、いかがでしたら、自分に合うか合わないかテストのやり方を教えますけれども、どうしますか？
教えてほしいです。ぜひ。
So when we're talking curvature, we're typically talking lateral deviation, right? So the best test that we talk about is, hey, go ahead and hit 50 shots, kind of get your current base. I want you to find your outliers, your worst left, your worst right. And then I also want you to section off into kind of like 5-yard increments and start figuring out where your bulk of your shots and kind of where your shots are flying or aligning on that.
ベースがなかったら自分に合うか合わないかってわからないじゃないですか。
はい。
データベースとして自分の傾向とか癖とか分かる方が判断しやすいじゃないですか。なので、一つのクラブで50球打ってみてください。それで横幅が分かる。
はいはいはいはい。
で、5ヤードの単位で分けていただいて、一番外側にある球は何割で、この幅が分かって、これで5ヤード切っていただいて、この範囲は何パーセント、この範囲は何パーセント、この範囲は何パーセント。で、分かれば自分のグリッドができますよね。でそれがベースです。
OK, OK.
Once you have your base grid, then you can start trying. Your hypothesis is, hey, this right here is going to make me more accurate, right? Because that's what they all tell me, right? So then that's your hypothesis. You go test it out, right? Maybe do it for 2 months, maybe hit like another 5 to 6 sets of 50, and then see if any of those sets or all of those sets are better than your original set. Obviously, if the data doesn't show that it's better, then, you know, after hitting like 6 sets, it's pretty cool. You can say this is not helping, or maybe I need to add something to this, right? Or it just gives you enough information to kind of start making a decision.
ベースがあります。で、それで新しく教えていただいた人気あるスイングをテストしてみます。ベースと比較して、これは自分に合わないんだ。自分に合うかって分かるじゃないですか。それを例えば、1セットが50球なので、50球 ×5 か6、300球ぐらい打って、新しいデータセットをアナライズして、先ほどのグリッドを新しく作って、はい、それで自分に合うか合わないかって分かるじゃないですか。
So tell him once he kind of starts to compile that data, that's going to help his decision making be a little better. I know, unfortunately, for a lot of people out there, this doesn't answer like specific swing mechanics and stuff like that. However, I think this is a real applicable approach to start your journey on figuring out what to change. Because I feel like a lot of people don't start the journey correctly of what to change. They just start seeing all these different theories and then try them out. And they don't even know how to test them out correctly, right? So then they just go around in this big old circle, never get better. It's really frustrating. So hopefully this will help you break that pattern, at least start, right?
自分で何が悪いかとか、どこを修正すればうまくなるとかって知らない中で、これを試してみる、あれ人気あるから試してみるって言ってしまったら、意味がないっていうか、どこの方向に向かってるのか全く分かんないじゃないですか。ベースがないので。
はいはい。
で、ベースがあれば、
はい、
自分に対してこれが向いてる、これが向いてないって判断できるじゃないですか。
はいはいはいはいはい。
で、そういうやり方がいいかなと思います。
球筋を見ながら、要は比べていって、それが適正かどうかっていうのを見極めていくようなっていうことですよね。
So any questions on what we learned so far?
今までのポイントに関して質問ありますか？
逆に GG スイングがどういう由来ですごくいいものかどうかっていうのを知らないけど、自分に合ってるっていう判断ができたら、それは続けていった方が。
That's the approach. Yeah, that's all I'm asking. I don't care what you learn. As long as your approach is right, I feel like you're on the right journey.
Yeah. で、これでいいと思います。自分のベースがあって、これがゴールとしてあれば、そのゴールに近づくアプローチだったらいいと思います。
キュイコーチは GG スイングをどう思いますか？
Is he here? Don't sue me. But anyways, so besides the fact, actually, the GG swing particularly that George Ginkis teaches, well, first off, I don't think it's a swing or a method. I think it was when he first started. However, now that his teaching has morphed quite a bit, he teaches like more so what most golf instructors teach, which is a zone. So he has like a zone of movements as opposed to a specific movement. And then those zones of movements, he individualizes kind of certain facets here and there to get the desired ball flight laws that he wants his client to do. So I feel like me and him actually teach pretty identical, except for maybe his zones are a little bit different than mine. In that case, he teaches like all American instructors, or pretty much most any good golf instructor that he teaches identical, right? So I like it a lot. But I think people see a certain image and then classify that as a method, which is not necessarily what he's teaching per se. So to give you like a classic example, you watch one of his older YouTube videos, his kid was hitting a big old cut and he was trying to hit a draw. Well, you saw Gigi teach him to have hands much more behind him. You saw George teaching him not to rotate hardly at all. And then you saw George basically teaching him to kind of have a lot of supination, which is kind of anti against what he typically everyone thinks he teaches. So I feel like that's a classic thing where here in Japan, I don't see that hardly at all. It's like, what does the person want? Let's have some feelings that are going to supplement what he's trying to get. That's at the end of the day, that's really all you should be focusing on. And that's very anti what you hear a lot of people here say. So the point is, you get people here who have just watched maybe a few translated videos who see him teaching the hands out, club shaft shallow, rotate a lot. You got a client who wants to hit a draw. They start teaching that to the client. The client can't hit a draw to save their life. And to become worse, right? So then people will say, hey, the GG swing's bad, when it wasn't really necessarily the GG swing. It was just literally the instructor had no clue what he's doing. So to me, I don't really have negative thoughts about the GG swing, or I don't even really think about it as a swing. I just think about it as a teaching approach, right?
教えてもらったことを自分でこう理解できてるできてないのは別として、それをこう発信していってしまって勘違いが広がっていくみたいな
そうですね。
イメージですかね。
Exactly, exactly. So basically, like everyone wants a pizza, like the best pizza in the world. However, these teachers are just having a pizza, but they don't have the special ingredients, which is the approach, the teaching approach. That's what George is so good. It's not because it's his theory or whatever. He just is really good at his approach to giving the message to the client. That's the secret.
で、ジジさんのアプローチがすごくいいんですよね。クライアントさんに対して。で、その一つの理論ではなく、いろんな理論があるんですけれども、それがやっぱり発信しちゃったんですね、一つが。
That's what most people don't have. So, yeah.
多いインストラクターの中で、やっぱり教え方が上手な人って少ないじゃないですか。で、ジジさんはすごく上手なので、すごいいいコーチだな。この一つの理論がありました。それでみんなそれを名前につけて使ってしまった。
すごくよくわかりました。
Okay, very good. We're glad to hear. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. There was a lot of really interesting parts in there. Alex, we'll give him a good interpreter today. Hey, you're working your way up there, man. You're doing good. So eb.boy, we actually get to see his face now. Give us some promotion. What do you want to talk about?
キウイコーチに、すごくわかりやすく教えていただいて、それを自分の中でフィードバックして、しっかりそれスイングの方に役立てたいなと思いました。で、あとは話題の GG スイングに対しての意見とかも聞けたんで、それはすごく楽しい時間というか、面白い時間を過ごせました。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
All right, guys. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave the links down below for eb.boy. Go check him out, his Instagram, give him a follow. As well, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Keep watching the videos, guys. Thank you, Alex, again. Good interpreter here. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
ありがとうございます。